Most Toyota owners are driving around with tracking features they don't even know exist. The scary part? Some can keep communicating even after you've turned the vehicle off. Today we'll cover 10 ways owners are disabling these hidden features, including one trick that takes less than a minute and another that almost nobody knows about. Number 10. What your Toyota is really doing. Before you touch a single wire, you need to know what you're up against. Back in 2023, the Mozilla Foundation studied 25 car brands and called cars the worst product they'd ever reviewed for privacy. 19 of those brands admitted they can sell your personal data. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's the car company saying it in their own privacy policies. Then it got darker. Two U.S. senators, Ron Wyden and Ed Markey, pulled the receipts in 2024. Hyundai handed data from 1.7 million cars to a broker called Verisk and got paid just over $1 million, about 61 cents per car. Honda sold 97,000 cars, worth around 26 cents each. Your location, your habits, your whole routine sold for the price of a candy bar. And the GM case went further. The FTC said the company pulled location from around 9 million vehicles, accurate with within a few inches, sometimes every 3 seconds. Those same senators found a long list of car makers who will hand your location to the cops without a judge ever signing off. Automakers look at connected car data as a massive annual revenue stream for investors by 2030. In that plan, you were never the customer, you're the product. So the only question left is what you can do about it, and the first move costs you nothing. Number 9. The settings menu. The softest move on this list doesn't need a screwdriver or a phone call. You go into your Toyota app account, dig through the data sharing options, look for things like Insure Connect, and switch off everything you find. Then you file a privacy request on the carmaker's website, the one that legally tells them to stop grabbing your data and delete what they've got. It's free and it takes 10 minutes. However, you need to understand what this really is. You're asking the same company that makes money off your data to please stop and trusting them to do it. The hardware never shuts down, the box stays powered, the antenna stays plugged in, and owners report their trips still getting logged after they flipped every switch, so a toggle is only as honest as the company behind it. That's why the people who really care don't stop here. They take the freebie, then go after the actual connection. Because if you want the data to truly stop, you can't trust a checkbox. You've got to reach the thing that's doing the talking. And the next move gets you closer with one short call. Number 8. The phone call. This one still costs nothing but a few minutes on the phone. You call Toyota's brand engagement line or connected services support and tell them to cancel the service for privacy reasons. They send a kill signal to your vehicle. The box stops talking to the servers, and your vehicle shows up on their end is not communicating. You won't touch a tool or pop a single panel. However, there's a string attached, and you need to hear it before you dial. The second you do this, that cancellation gets tied to your VIN for good. They know you opted out, and any dealer who scans your car can see it in plain English. Other owners hit the same trap, where shutting it off prints a code onto the service paperwork that follows the car for life. There's a bigger cost too. Cut the connection this way, and you lose the over-the-air updates, the ones that quietly fix software bugs and push safety recalls while your car sleeps in the driveway. For some folks, that trade is fine. For others, it's a deal breaker because they want the box silent with nothing else lost. If that's you, the phone call won't get you there. You've got to find the hardware itself, and that's where the real hunt begins.
Number 7. The hidden box. Almost everybody assumes the tracking lives inside the touchscreen multimedia head unit. It doesn't. The part actually phoning home is a separate little box, officially called the Data Communication Module, or DCM. Entune or Toyota Multimedia is just the software layer slapped on the system. The real snitch is this paperback-sized box with a power plug going in and a thin antenna wire running out. And this is the catch that trips everybody up. Toyota doesn't bolt it into the same spot on every vehicle, not even close. On some older sedans, it sits right behind the radio head unit. On certain older SUVs, owners found it tucked deep behind the glove box. But on the newer high-trim models, people tearing their dash apart found it buried behind the instrument cluster or deep under the center dash console, which turns a 10-minute job into an afternoon of swearing. So your first job isn't pulling anything, it's hunting. You want the one box with an antenna lead feeding into it, because that wire is the dead giveaway. That little antenna is the thing whispering to a cell tower every few seconds you're on the road. Find it, and you've found the part that rats you out. But once it's in your hand, the first thing most people reach for is the simplest idea of all, the same one you try with a phone. Before we get to the next one, if you want to keep your vehicle running for hundreds of thousands of miles without getting hit by costly repairs, check out my 500,000-mile Toyota blueprint. It's packed with maintenance schedules, preventative fixes, and owner tips that can save you thousands. The link is in the description below. Number 6. The SIM card. Think about how you'd kill a phone's connection for good. You'd pop the SIM card out. And on a bunch of older vehicles, that exact trick worked. The telematics box had a little removable SIM sitting right in it, just like a phone, and owners would slide it out, pull that card, and the box went dark, with no way left to reach a tower. But the gut punch on newer models is this: the SIM isn't a SIM card anymore. It's an eSIM, a tiny chip built and soldered right onto the motherboard of the DCM at the factory. There's nothing to slide out, nothing you can reach with your fingers. The companies didn't do that on accident. A built-in chip is one you can't pop out on a Saturday afternoon, and that was the point. They quietly close the easy door on you. So if you've got an older model, check for that SIM first because it might be the fastest win on the list. However, if you're driving something newer, that shortcut is gone. And that's why owners stopped hunting for SIM cards and went after the two things the box can't live without: its power and its voice. Number 5. The fuse pull. Killing the power is the oldest move in the book, but this is where it finally gets physical. The classic move here is killing the power. You track down the fuse panel, locate the specific fuse labeled for the DCM or telematics, grab a cheap fuse puller, and yank it out. On a lot of vehicles, the signal icon on the dash drops dead. The box looks like it went quiet, and it seems like the job's finished. So that's it, right? Not even close. And this next part is the single most important thing in the whole video, so don't you dare skip it. A lot of these modern modules carry a tiny backup battery built right inside. It's the same battery that lets your vehicle call for emergency help after a major crash, even when the main 12-volt battery power has been completely ripped out or disconnected, which means pulling that fuse doesn't always kill the thing. An owner can pull the fuse for the module, drive around, and the tracking app can still log the whole trip. The box runs on backup power the entire time, snitching in silence. So the fuse is a great opening move, but it's nowhere near the finish line. It's loud, it sometimes drags other shared circuits down with it, and the box can keep breathing on that hidden battery.
Therefore, the owners who really want this thing dead never stop at the fuse. They go one layer deeper to a quieter trick that leaves the box stone deaf without killing power to anything else in the vehicle. Number 4, the antenna unplug. This is the move the sharp owners swear by, and you'll barely ever hear it on YouTube. Instead of cutting the power, you leave the box fully powered and just slide the antenna lead right off it. Think about your own phone. Rip the antenna out and it still switches on. The screen still glows, but it can't reach a network tower no matter how hard it tries. Same idea sitting inside your dash. You pop the connector holding that cellular or GPS antenna wire, slide it off clean, and tape the loose end down so it doesn't rattle behind the plastic panels. The box still has power, so nothing else in your electrical system throws a fit. Your center screen stays alive, your instrument cluster stays calm, and not one warning light starts screaming at you. But that box has gone stone cold deaf. It can't phone home, it can't tell anybody where you parked, and your location finally stays yours. And the best part? It's dead easy to undo. Plug the antenna back in, and everything wakes right up like nothing happened. No diagnostic trouble code burned onto your VIN, no paper trail pointing back at you. That's why the privacy crowd loves this one, because it stays silent and leaves nothing behind. But this is where things get difficult, because on the newest vehicles, they didn't just bury the box deeper, they built a deeply integrated network wall around the system, and getting past it takes a lot more than a simple screwdriver. Number 3. The connected architecture wall. On modern models, the factory integrates the DCM deeply into the vehicle's CAN bus system. It is not an isolated component, it communicates constantly with the central body control modules. Now pay attention because people mix this up all the time. The data network layout isn't just sending your coordinates, it acts as a gateway for other cabin electronics. If you pull the module out entirely or disable it incorrectly, you run straight into a wall. Owners who completely disconnected the hardware suddenly found that their Bluetooth microphone went dead or the front passenger side speakers stopped working entirely because the audio signals route directly through that board. Worse yet, the overhead SOS emergency button starts flashing a warning light right above your head on the headliner, staring at you every time you drive. You can't just delete it from the loop without the vehicle noticing the missing hardware node. This is the expert tier, and even after trying to bypass it, there's a bill that comes due, and you'd better know it before you start pulling components apart. Number 2. What you actually lose. Killing this box doesn't just kill the tracking, it drags a whole stack of features down with it, and a lot of owners don't figure that out until it's too late. First to go is the automatic crash notification, the feature that automatically dials for emergency services when you've been hit and can't reach your phone. Right behind it goes stolen vehicle tracking, the thing that helps recover the vehicle if somebody drives off with it. Then the handy stuff disappears too. The mobile app that lets you check fuel levels, check tire pressure, start your engine from the kitchen, and lock the doors across a crowded parking lot, completely gone. The built-in Wi-Fi hotspot, gone. And every over-the-air software update stops landing, which means even critical updates won't reach your system on their own. As mentioned, because the box carries other vital cabin audio hardware, physical removal can kill your hands-free mic and front speakers, and replacing a fried or missing module can run well over $1,000 at a dealership service center. So this isn't free no matter how good it feels to go dark. It's a straight trade. You're handing back a pile of safety nets and little convenient perks for your privacy. For plenty of people, that swap is an easy yes, but make that call on purpose with your eyes open instead of finding out the hard way the next time you actually need one of those perks. Number 1. Proving it's dead. This is the part that separates the people who think they're safe from the people who actually are. Your dashboard will lie right to your face. Remember that sneaky backup battery? An owner can pull the main fuse, watch the phone signal icon on the display go completely dark, then hold a radio frequency meter up to the dash anyway, just to be sure. The box can still pump out a signal the whole time. The dash swears it is completely off, but the meter proves it is wide awake. So the owners who know what they're doing run 3 checks in order. First, glance at the signal icon on your screen. If it shows an X or a slash, that's a decent start, but it's nowhere near proof. Second, open the mobile app on your phone and try to pull live health data or send a remote lock command. If the app can't reach the car at all and times out, the cellular communication side is genuinely down. Third, and this is the only check that can't be fooled, hold an RF meter right next to the hidden module's location. Basic detectors are cheap online. If the meter stays dark and quiet, the tracker is finally off the air for real. When the dash and the meter disagree, you believe the meter every time, because the dash works for them, not for you. So there's your honest answer. The menu toggle is a polite request. The phone call leaves a permanent mark. The fuse can be completely fooled by a backup battery, and the antenna trick is the quiet winner, right up until you hit the deeply integrated wiring of the newest models. Run it in that order, prove it with the meter, and you'll know for sure. What you get back is a vehicle that answers to nobody but you. And there you have it, 10 ways owners are disabling hidden tracking features. From simple menu settings to the hardware methods most people never hear about. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe for more maintenance and ownership tips. Let me know in the comments, would you disable these features, or do the convenience features make them worth keeping? And if you want to see another secret most owners discover too late, click the video on your screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.